Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Luisa, and today I'm speaking with Anita Okunde. She's a 17-year-old activist and public speaker of Nigerian Irish heritage. A journey for sustainability and campaigning for net zero targets to be met and lowered started years ago. Her work with sustainability has always been centered around putting people of color at the center of the climate movement, and this has included setting up press conferences, taking space in white-dominated area climate activists, and speaking out against environmental injustice and the hypocrisy of big companies who seem to forget that individual changes are only one small part of moving towards a sustainable future. She works with numerous climate strikes organizations. She's president of Girl Up Manchester and former member of Youth Parliament, and she's also the CEO of Senegal Cosmetics. As you can tell, she's pretty incredible, and I'm fortunate enough today to be speaking with her about her amazing work. So yeah, hi Anita, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good. I'm glad to hear that. So I've tried to sum up all of your amazing work, but I'm sure I've forgotten something. So tell us more about yourself.
Um, you did pretty well. I don't think you forgot much. But yeah, I do climate activism centering Black, Indigenous, people of color at the forefront of the climate movement because those groups are most affected by the climate crisis. So it's important that when looking at solutions, we make sure that the people most affected are at the table speaking. Um, yeah, I'm really big on sustainability, looking at more ways that we can be sustainable, especially in the working class, because I think sustainability tends to be branded as like rich people's thing, and some sustainable alternatives tend to be a lot more expensive. So it's important to look at ways we can be sustainable on a budget and making sure that people aren't excluded from the sustainable movement. So yeah, that's my work.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I wanted to ask you, how did you get starting with activism or into activism in general?
So activism in general, I started when I was about 11. So I just got into high school here in the UK, and there was so many issues that angered me. I was a very easily like it was like I had a lot to say about them, really big on my opinions. And I remember when my teacher was like, "You always have to complain about. Why don't you just do something about it?" Yeah, I got involved by becoming member of youth parliament. Um, I started that journey when I was about year 8, year 9 till like 12, 13. And first year I was deputy member of youth parliament, and my work was on mental health, making sure there are spaces for young people to have, and yeah, that type of thing. And then in year 9 I started looking at sustainability and like how the world was pretty unsustainable and how I had a massive part to play, and I was like, oh, I'm one of the worst. So being able to like change what I was doing is really empowering for me, and then helping others change what they were doing. And then I kind of got really thrown into the whole climate movement, climate activism, even though it was like a space where I didn't see many people like me, but it was nice to be in. I had really nice friends, made so many cool friends from activism. And then I started looking at the links between climate crisis and racism, colonialism, all those type of things. So that's when like my activism really like I was like, yep, I've got all this ammunition behind me. I really want to go now. So yeah, and that's how it's been.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I'm really curious about how you got into the parliament you talked about. Like here in Italy, we don't have this kind of stuff. So I was curious what it is about, how it works.
So the youth parliament literally works as the way we have our UK parliament, but for young people. Um, Usually applications go around schools, depends on where you're from. So in my area it goes around schools and anyone can apply. Some areas it's just down to the youth council. So if you're in the youth council you can apply to be a member of youth parliament. You pick 3 manifesto points that you want to work on, and then on those 3 manifesto points you then campaign, try to get young people to get for you their vote. It's pretty much like the youngest version of democracy and like encouraging young people to get
That's really
involved.
That's really cool. I wish we had that here. Like my sister is really like into politics also, so I think that would be really cool for her. And yeah, you mentioned like a manifesto, and you brought up mental health. What are some of the points you brought to your manifesto?
Yeah, so I was working on making sure there were lower waiting times for young people looking at mental health, because in the UK it's really bad with getting the mental health help you need, making sure that you get it quickly enough. The waiting list is massive, and they have to prioritize people. So working on in Rochdale having quicker services, but also making sure that people knew all the services available, because a lot of young people didn't know where they should go if they had mental health issues. So that was kind of my campaign, bringing awareness around them, doing workshops in schools, that type of thing. That's what I did for my campaign. And then my second one was on knife crime, another big issue in the UK. So I got to run like an awareness week. I got to speak at different events. Got to speak to different kids, get their perspective, why they think knife crime is such a big issue here and what should be done about it. It was pretty cool. And then I went to go to Downing Street because I went to a reception for knife crime. So it was really interesting to be at, listen to all the different people, all the different opinions. And I think it's quite interesting because you don't really hear the side from the people who are the victims of the crime. It tends to be just the media perpetrating what they think. So it's nice to hear it from the people who are there.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. About mental health, like I think it's really important to talk about that. Here in my school, it's the first time this year we are having a specialist. We can talk about, of course, through like calls online. But yeah, it's. I think it's really important, especially like in lockdown right now. I think everyone is struggling, and it's really good that you already thought about that prior. But now I'm curious, you're still member of the parliament, or you're done? Like,
Yeah, I finished my term last the year before last year in like December. That's when I finished my term as member of youth parliament.
oh, that's cool. Yeah. And yeah, what like tips would you give to people who are looking to start getting into activism, or want to start maybe a group of activism?
On starting groups on activism, I feel like there are so many groups out there already who are doing amazing work. So I feel like if you're starting activism, start with one of those groups. It's a lot more easier because starting a group can be so hard and stressful. It's a lot more easier to join a group that's already been started, and you make a lot more friends that way. And at the same time, you won't find activism a chore. It'll be something you enjoy. Secondly, just look around, search it up in your local area, whatever you want to do activism on, kind of search it up. Is there any groups near me? Obviously with COVID, a lot of them have moved online, which is a lot better for when you're starting out because you kind of like have a wider access to different groups and you can test it out and like that type of thing. I started when I was looking at climate activism. I started with Fridays for Future Digital and Youth Strike Manchester. So Youth Strike Manchester is my local like youth strike, and they were really cool. Started in the middle of the pandemic, so like everything was online. Same with obviously Fridays for Future Digital. It's a digital campaign, which was super cool to work on, and it's super cool to work with them because they do amazing work, and it's fun to be part of that work, and you make amazing friends. So I would say just go for it.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Like for me, for example, like here I don't have really a local activist group. I had to go a little bit further to a bigger city to find one. So the activism part is a bit, I don't know, difficult for me. I've been to some like protests to the city where they're done, but I haven't really never participated in one, even though it's something I want to do, but just I don't know what I'm doing, what to do. And yeah, for now I wanted to join one before lockdown. Then of course like lockdown happened, and then I started this page on Instagram about sustainability because I was really passionate about it and I wanted to share my experience. And then it led to this YouTube channel and stuff like that. But it's really inspiring to see like the young people like you are the same age as me, so it's like you show that it is possible. You just have to put in the work and be passionate about the things that you want to protest. And yeah, so I also saw that you got featured on the Forbes top 100 environmentalist, which is like really cool. And first of all, congrats on that. And
Thank
then I
you.
wanted to ask, like, how did your journey on sustainable living or sustainability got started?
My journey of sustainability started with me personally. It was an individual type of thing at first, and it was because I'd done a lot of reading about how clothes were made. So my big thing is sustainable fashion. I'd done a lot of
Same,
things, a lot of things about
same.
how clothes are made, and I was like, oh my god, this is all horrible. And then I was like, what can I personally do about this? So stop buying fast fashion. That was my first thing, and that was a hard thing because I'm from a class where I would never pay like £20 for a shirt or like £30 for a dress. I was like, I'm gonna either pay more or find an alternative that isn't fast fashion, which kind of like. And then I found out about thrifting and charity shops and all those
Yes.
type of things. And I was like, yes, this is my godsend because it's a right price and I know I'm doing good for the planet. And I was like, love to see it. Yes, yes. But then obviously there's a lot of misconceptions around thrifting and shopping in charity shops, that it's for poor people, that it's not good quality clothes, those type of things. And I was like, how do I break these misconceptions down? Well, I can't do it on my own. It's time to stop being so individual about it. I need to spread it out a bit more. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So I started talking about sustainability more often. um I'm a big one on reusing and upcycling things. It really makes me happy. So like I have it everywhere. Like I've got pasta jars that are now pencil holders. um it's just nice to have. I
Yeah.
so yeah, it's like telling people and letting them know like small changes like that or small things they do like that are like a good way to start. Like you're doing great if you did wash out your pasta jar and make it a pencil jar. You're doing good if you recycled the cardboard box you got a package in and it's now being all used to organize something, that type of thing. I was wanted to focus more on the smaller changes and the changes that are accessible and like not expensive rather than the big changes that cost a lot of money. That's
Yeah.
why I see a lot of people who feel excluded from the climate movement and the sustainability movement. And I definitely felt excluded at first when I was seeing the thing like the switches. But once I was able to find a switch that worked for me at my price point, I was like, I'm going to share it with everyone. So everyone doesn't feel excluded. And that's pretty much how my journey started. And then now we're here.
Yeah, I feel like what you said, because like when you look up terms like zero waste or sustainable living, especially on YouTube, come up these like white women in their 30s, and then I thought the same thing, like the things that you do, I can't do them. First of all, because I don't have any money. Second of all, is because I live with my parents. So one of the things I also want like to start this channel and the Instagram page was because like to give like teenagers something like to do, because it's really frustrating to understand all the science and understand that climate change is like big thing and it impacts our future and can't do nothing about it. So at least like with small like little changes you feel like empowered, and the best feeling I get is when I do something and then people start doing it because they see me do this stuff that at first is weird. I get like weird comments and jokes, but then they start doing all eventually. So yeah, I feel like what you said. And for people like who are starting to want to start their sustainable journey, what would you advise to them?
I think clothes tends to be the easiest place to start because once you start thinking more eco-consciously, you realize you've not wore half the clothes in your closet yet. And it's like, let's start using them. And you realize you don't need any new clothes. You just enjoy buying them. So that was like my first like realization. Like I didn't actually need new clothes every month, did I? I've not grown since about year 7, 5 years ago. All my clothes still fits. I probably haven't wore half of it. Let's start actually making use of the clothes I have and reusing the clothes I've already wore, because it's not a crime to be seen in the same outfit twice. Um, and then once like I got into that and I was like, I actually need new clothes now. Thrifting and charity shopping was like the most daunting thing at the first time like going, and I was like, I don't know where to do this, how to do this. And then I decided to do online first because I wasn't really good with going into shops. Like the stigma attached around going into a charity shop. I felt like, don't think I want to go. But I realized a lot of the charity shops like I wanted to go into had online pages anyway. So I was like, this is super cool. I could just order what I want online and have it delivered to me, fun. Same with thrift pages. There's a lot of thrift like shopping pages that are doing work online rather than in person, especially with COVID, obviously. But even without COVID, like they still have an online presence. I think that's really important for like making thrifting and charity shopping accessible to everyone, because not
Yeah.
everyone wants to be in person. And I think that was important for me because I wasn't confident enough to go into a charity shop or go into a shop with people looking at me. So it was nice to know I could do it from the comfort of my own home.
Yeah, I think like now secondhand shopping has become like a trend, and I think in the UK you guys like are really like the first on trends or stuff like that. You're more prepared, and here in Italy instead it is still weird to buy secondhand, and we don't have like charity shops or stuff like that. I have like a market where I go once a week, and there are clothes on tables, and then I look around at them, but stuff like that. And so yeah, and here the second-hand like culture is not really as accepted yet, but I think we are slowly doing it. In fact, I started like a reselling business plus like sustainable accessories kind of thing, because I think now in Italy we're prepared to like I don't know, accept this fact. But yeah,
Mhm.
there are a lot of still misconceptions, and it's not really like accepted yet. But it's really fun, like to go in these shops and try to find stuff, because you never know what you're getting, and it's really like thrilling when you find something cheap that's really cute, and that's the best feeling for me.
Yeah, definitely. That's, I think, where the difference comes in when looking at in-person thrifting versus online thrifting. The feelings and the emotions you get when in-person thrifting are most definitely different, a lot more intense than when doing it online. I do enjoy looking through the racks now and like going through things and that type of thing. Like it gives me joy and like finding something I really wanted, like I was looking for, and I'm like, yes, love to see it. But yeah, beforehand that wasn't the case. But it was nice, like that little journey to make sure I go from there
Yeah,
to there.
I
And
think
yeah,
like online, like selling stuff in online secondhand, it's like really important to get like that stigma away. And also like here, as I said, like because our own tables like around, and if someone like got the chance to take a nice photo and put it on the internet, they could like be used more. And I think they don't sell everything they have when I go there, and I think they still get like thrown away if they don't get sold. But yeah, I think online e-commerce are really important for that, like to get everyone the access and to like get this close a second life. So I wanted to ask, like, do you try to be like plastic free or zero waste in your own way?
um plastic free, no, because I live under my parents' roof. First of all, I'm not going to try and like change the way they shop for basic necessities, which tends to be the stuff wrapped in plastic. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and go out and buy like a sandwich wrapped in plastic. No, but like when it's like things like pasta or the
Yes,
inside of it,
I was
yeah,
I was going to say pasta.
yeah, like when you take the cereal out of a cereal box, there's like a plastic film around the cereal, like those type of things. Like it's a lot more expensive to buy things that are not wrapped in plastic, and I don't have the money for that. And I know my house zero waste. I think I definitely move towards that. I try my best to repurpose things that would be thrown in landfill, and that's been working well for me. It's a journey, and I
Yeah,
don't. I,
definitely.
a lot of the sustainable bloggers or influencers who post make it look like they did it all overnight, and like they're amazing now, and like I think that's a really false thing to put out there, number one. And number two, it puts people off because they feel like they have to make this massive jump so quickly when really it's a process and you can do it at whatever pace
Yeah.
you, and it's
And
literally
it doesn't have to be aesthetic also, like it can be your like jar, the jar reused. It doesn't have to be the cute one. And I think
Mhm.
that's like sometimes I find like myself scrolling through this account that have the perfect zero waste swaps, and I feel like I can't buy them. How can I be sustainable if I can't buy them? And that's not true. You can be sustainable in your own
Mhm.
way. And as you said, it's a journey. If like, I think small actions are really 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 important.
Yeah.
And then I also like saw that you are the CEO of Senaga Cosmetics, which is a sustainable beauty brand specializing in vegan cosmetics. But can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so I've been working on it for 2 years. Just launched it last December. Um, I really love makeup. First things first. And I've always had like a weird relationship with makeup, and I'm like comfortable with my relationship with makeup. I don't wear it anymore to cover up myself or to try to look beautiful, but because I enjoy it as a way of art. And I just wanted to share that passion with others, but in a sustainable way, because I'm really big on sustainability and all that type of thing. And I was like, I want my lip glosses and my to show that. So I worked first of all with lip glosses. So right now we sell glosses. We're expanding, but we're starting small. Um, I make them all myself handmade, so I know that they're all vegan. So I know like
Yeah.
everything that's going into it because I'm very paranoid about the things happening. And I'm really happy with where that's at now. Like I'm happy with my products. I'm happy with what I put out there. Only thing I could say, I probably like my packaging. Like I've got mailers that have plastic on the inside of them. Didn't realize they did. Was like crying when I found out, and I was like, "Oh, my packaging isn't eco-friendly." But um, nonetheless, once the mailers run out, obviously I can switch to new stuff. Mailers to start off with because it kind of shows, you know, that journey on sustainability. Like you're not always perfect. It's like it's just a reflection of what the sustainability journey looks like in general. Like nothing's ever perfect. We don't start off perfect. Sometimes we make mistakes, and so yeah.
Yeah, I think like these systems aren't there for us to be perfect, so there's no point in trying to be perfect. But especially when it comes to companies and like brands, I think it's really important that we'll all embrace like sustainability in everything of the products. For example, like my we ship like with the used boxes, because like we can't afford to buy fully recycled, so we make sure we keep the boxes that are already there and we try to reuse them. So that's one thing. And I think it's like really cool that you fought for this for like 2 years and you made sure that everything was somewhat like sustainable or can be more sustainable. But I think it's really important like for us that we are starting like small, but for big companies that they start doing something like tangible and not just greenwashing. That gets me really angry. Like every time I hear an ad on TV, on YouTube, like shut up. You're not serious, you can do better. So yeah, and the I think like makeup is really cool because I haven't like find like makeup that like is like sustainable but isn't a lot expensive because it's expensive. And yeah, I used to wear makeup a lot, but right now I'm going like natural most of the time just because I don't want to take it off just when I'm tired. So yeah, but I think like your brand is perfect because it's like affordable and sustainable for is accessible for that for a lot of people. And yeah, I forgot. I wanted to say another thing, but I forgot. So yeah. Anyway, do you have like any tips for individuals that want to start a small sustainable business? If you have learned something along the way and you want to
Um,
share it?
when starting off and like buying your base products, like the products you need to make the products, or if you're buying the products direct, buy don't try saving up for it all at once and buying it all together, because I tried that and like there'd be like loads of like minor inconveniences or major inconveniences that meant I had to spend that money anyway. So I started buying things bit by bit. So like buy the bases first, then buy the glitters, then buy the micas, because it meant that I could watch my inventory grow, and I could see things progress, which is something I couldn't see when I was trying to save up for it all at once. Another thing is TikTok is your friend, and Instagram Reels when trying to boost your
Yes.
business. TikTok failed for me. I don't know what happened with TikTok. They decided just not to work for me. But Instagram Reels has been doing really well.
Yeah.
Uh, and that's been really cool to work with. And they're actually fun to make when you're doing
Yeah.
them. Um, a tip for making reels: I do them all in one day. Like I do my makeup and then get changed multiple times, so it looks like I did the videos on different days, and like do like 7 at a time, so I don't have to film them every day. So that's been helpful.
Yeah. I instead like do one every day just because like I get overwhelmed if I have to do too many at times. So once I do one, I say like I'm good for the day. Let's think about it tomorrow.
See,
But
I'm
yeah,
like,
but I wish like I batch them a bit.
because like I tried to do that, and then I'm like, tomorrow I'm like, I don't want to get up, I don't want to do my makeup, I don't want to get ready, and I'm like, it's not happening. Um, another thing is, what else would I say? Don't be disappointed if you don't get as many sales as you expect. I was lucky with my first launch. I sold out in like 2 days, but I started with like a smaller number of like products. I didn't expect loads of people to buy, so I started off like a smaller number of inventory,
That's
which
smart.
so I was like, yeah, so always start off smaller than you think, because it leads to less disappointment, and it's another part being sustainable, making sure you don't throw away leftovers, because obviously fast fashion brands would throw away anything that hadn't been sold in the first few weeks, that type of thing. But it's important to make sure that your inventory is matched to your audience size, to make sure you don't feel like you have loads of stuff left over and then you want to do a new release and you're like, how do I get rid of these? um, but if you are looking to get rid of things like quicker, a sale is always great. Um,
Yeah.
other than that, I would just say don't be disappointed with when there are going to be slow days. There are going to be slow weeks. Going to be slow months, and I don't think people should be thrown off by that. Small businesses aren't for everyone, but at the same time, if you think that's for you, you should go for it and not let things like that put you off, because it's rewarding in the end.
Yeah, I think also don't let you put like pull you off from adults because sometimes they don't take you seriously when you know like their gut feeling that you know that something that people like want and they should be available, like go follow your gut, I would say. And I also would say that yeah, what you said about don't like believe in yourself even on the worst days because like one day I was feeling really off that I didn't get any sales, and then the next day I got to free. So you never know when they're coming, but they're coming. So trust the process, I would say. And yeah, TikTok and Instagram Reels are like your best friend. At least for me, also Instagram Reels like got me like I think like 2,000 followers and the most sales I've now with my small business. That's like only like in Italy for now because I can't ship internationally. But yeah, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's like marketing is like is really important in my opinion. If you have like a good like solution, marketing is like the best. So yeah, like to conclude, I want like you're the same age as me, so I was like wondering what are your plans for the future? Do you want to go to uni? What do you want to pursue?
So I'm currently in college slash sixth form. It's
Yeah, you have
yeah,
that you there.
yeah, it's
It's
like a little
definitely.
two-year thing before university. And I'm currently studying politics, philosophy, economics, and core maths. And I'm doing an extended project qualification on politics, why there are lack of Black people in politics. Um, what I want to do at uni, I want to go to Oxford, and I'd like to study politics, philosophy, and economics. Um, yeah, I want to be a politician when I grow up. Everyone kind of like goes, ew, but I want to be
No, you
at
go.
I want to be at the table making the decisions instead of having to be outside shouting at them. I can't wait for kids to shout at me and hold me accountable too. And I think it'd be a great start to see a lot more activists go into politics because they already have the right idea and they know what to do. So yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like I'm now starting like I want to get more involved with politics, but I just don't know how. And yeah, and my sister also is very like active in this sense, so I'm putting like the weight on her to go into politics. I'm like more interested in entrepreneurship, sustainable like companies and stuff like that, and computer science. So I want to bring like tech and sustainability together. But that's really cool to hear because like uh I think like young people right now, there are some that I don't know, some people are really angry and some don't care, but it's really cool when you meet the one that care. At least for me, like I want to ask you like what do your friends think about, are they supportive?
My friends have always been supportive. They may not care themselves, but they're supportive of me and what I do. And I appreciate them for that. They listen to me when I rant.
Yeah, same for me.
So they understand the issue, and I think they're pretty much well educated on it because they listen to me every day. But and I know they don't make the same like massive, really unsustainable things they used to do. They don't do that anymore, which warms my heart. And I appreciate that, but I don't expect them to be interested in politics. Like I know they're not. They have no interest for it, other than the fact that they know I'm interested in it. And I don't expect them to all be interested because we're a diverse group and people go at their own paces. So
Yeah,
if they be interested in it, then sure, go on. I'll always be there to help you because I love it. If you don't want to be interested in it, cool too, because it's not all the time we talk about politics. So yeah, it's a nice mix.
oh yeah, well, that's really cool, and thank you so much for joining me in this video. It's been a wonderful conversation, and yeah, maybe let like my subscriber know where they can find you and follow along.
So on Instagram and Twitter, it's just Anita Okunde, ANITA OKUNDE.
You're
Business
a pro
page.
at this. You already know.
Yeah, business page Sanaga Cosmetics,
I'm gonna
SENAGACOSMETIC.
put them on the screen.
And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's where I'm most active. And then my email, which is in my Instagram and Twitter bio. So yeah.
Yeah, amazing. So don't forget to subscribe and leave a like to this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.